Another well-known event is the Chelyabinsk meteor in 2013, which didn't hit the Earth but exploded over the Russian city of Chelyabinsk. The shock wave caused windows to shatter and injured around 1,500 people. This showed us that even smaller celestial bodies that hit the Earth at high speed can cause significant damage. While comet impacts are rare, the potential consequences could be catastrophic. That's why scientists around the world are working to detect celestial bodies like comets and asteroids early on, and to calculate their orbits to prevent possible collisions. Research has shown that comets and asteroids are the direct remnants of the solar system's formation. When our solar system was still a glowing ball of hot gas, rock particles formed around it, which we now call asteroids. At the same time, ice and water formations emerged, which we now know as comets. Many researchers therefore believe that comets are the actual messengers of water in our solar system. There's a comet on its way to us that's even brighter than Hale-Bopp and Neowise. When this new comet reaches its closest point to the sun, it will change direction and come towards us. It'll be brighter than the brightest stars and even Venus and Jupiter, which are normally among the brightest things you can see from Earth. It'll be like that for weeks. The astronomers in Africa were pretty blown away when they first spotted the new comet on February 22nd, 2023. The newly discovered comet from far beyond our solar system was so striking and bright that it quickly became clear that this would be a once-in-a-century show. The folks who discovered it, who used the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS for short, scanned the sky for very special objects. Facilities like ATLAS are always on watch, ready to give us a heads up about asteroids and comets. These celestial bodies can put on a great show, but they can also be dangerous to us. Luckily, the new visitor, which only flies towards the sun about once every 22,000 years, was quickly classified as harmless. Facilities like the ATLAS system not only scan the sky, but also calculate the predicted flight paths of all newly discovered celestial bodies at lightning speed. This calculation quickly showed that the new comet had taken a course that would take it close to the sun and far enough away from us. Just after the discovery was made public, a team of Chinese researchers spoke up. They'd also spotted the comet. The double discovery was made with the Tsuchin-Chan Astronomical Observatory, and the comet was given the memorable double name, Tsuchin-Chan Atlas. The full name of this once-in-a-century comet is even longer. It is officially designated as C/2023A 3 Tsuchin-Chan Atlas. The C stands for non-periodic comet. The year 2023 marks the year of discovery, and A3 indicates the order of the discoveries in January of that year. With Tsuchin-Chan Atlas, the term non-periodic suggests it'll probably only come close to Earth once. After that, it'll either never return, or it'll take so long that we'll never know if we'll still be around when it does. What's the attraction for comets when they head for the sun? I never imagined that a comet could melt so quickly. Just picture this. The sun has the power to break up a huge comet into nothing more than water and gas in no time at all. If a comet gets too close to the sun, that's exactly what happens. The heat from the sun is enough to evaporate a comet that is a kilometer wide. In reality, though, this is a pretty rare occurrence. Comets usually get closer to the sun, lose a bit of mass with each flyby, and can thus make their rounds for millions of years. Comets come from the Oort cloud, which is a collection of lumps of rock and ice that lies far beyond the boundaries of our solar system. Scientists are looking into what causes individual comets to break away from the huge number of frozen icy objects and head straight for the sun. It seems that complicated gravitational interactions are what drive the comets out of the Oort cloud. Imagine the Oort cloud as a perfectly orchestrated interplay of many individual objects. None of the more than 100,000 chunks, ranging from small stones to gigantic comets, are there for no reason. The objects are attracted and bound by forces, only a small part of which we understand so far. All objects in the solar system, whether planets, stars, comets, or asteroids, interact with each other through electromagnetic forces. All these objects take part in the game of gravity, that mysterious force that holds the whole universe together, and determines how the celestial bodies interact with each other. But we still don't know exactly how individual comets are suddenly attracted to a star like the sun. A comet is tiny compared to the size of a star. It's basically a drop in the ocean. So what causes these cosmic crumbs to break away from the distant collection of objects and then fly towards the sun? We don't have the answer yet. Even our top scientists can't figure out why this happens. What we do know is how comets behave on their incredible journeys into the heart of the solar system. The closer they get to the sun, the more spectacular they become. Since ancient times, comets have been regarded as special messengers on Earth. They brought people luck or announced great events. The comet that is now approaching Earth will have such an unusual appearance that scientists are already mentioning it in the same breath as great names, like Hale-Bopp or Neowise. Don't miss out on the chance to see the most incredible comet light show live. Does anyone remember Hale-Bopp, the amazing comet that could be seen with the naked eye for weeks in 1997? Hale-Bopp was a once-in-a-century comet with a pronounced tail and a fantastic light show. It was even so bright that you could see it with the naked eye at dusk. Will Suchun-chan Atlas also put on a show for us? We're really hoping so. Hale-Bopp is already a distant memory. It's time for us to experience a new supercomet. We're expecting Suchun-chan Atlas to reach its closest point to the sun, called perihelion, on September 27, 2024. However, perihelion isn't the best time to see the comet. The real show will start in October 2024, when it gets closer to the Earth. The initial forecast suggests that Suchun-chan Atlas will be as bright as Neowise, the comet that amazed us in 2020. On 27 September 2024, the comet will pass the sun at the level of Mercury. As it speeds up and gets closer to us at about 70 kilometers per second, the comet will become increasingly brighter. The comet is so close to the sun that it releases more and more dust, ice, and gases, which is what makes the ice chunk look so colorful, bright, and has that magnificent tail. Another thing that makes the comet shine is something called forward scattering. This happens when the comet is lit up from behind by the sun. As Suchun-chan Atlas turns away from the sun and heads towards the Earth, the sun's rays will hit the back of the comet. The dust and ice crystals will reflect the light and scatter it towards us, the observers. Scientists expect Suchun-chan Atlas to reach a brightness of about 0.7 magnitude, which is pretty impressive. By comparison, Hale-Bopp reached a magnitude of -1.0, and Neowise, the comet visible in 2020, reached a brightness of 0.5. So we can look forward to a spectacular sight that will probably thrill us throughout October. The Suchun-chan Atlas can be seen in bright green, white, or even yellowish tones. The color of the comet is down to the composition of the gases and dust particles that are released. For instance, if cyanide or carbon is present in the gas, the comet may glow in green tones, while yellowish or white colors are created by dust and reflected sunlight. It's the specific composition and how it interacts with solar radiation that ultimately determines which colors we see in the night sky. This lump could have some pretty serious consequences for us. Experts estimate that Suchun-chan Atlas is a fairly small comet with a diameter of around 1 kilometer. This comet is on a fairly small scale, but it could cause us a lot of trouble if it were to come on a collision course with us here on Earth. A comet this size could devastate half a continent and cause a global climate catastrophe on Earth. The thought that this chunk is hurtling towards us at an incredible 70 kilometers per second can make you feel a little queasy, but we're in luck. The good news is that scientists are fairly certain that Suchun-chan Atlas will not collide with Earth. If this comet were on a collision course, it could wipe out a city the size of New York or Beijing. Comets are mostly frozen water and some dust, but as projectiles entering the Earth's atmosphere at incredible speeds, they're just as dangerous as asteroids, which are composed of solid rock and metals. Comet impacts on Earth are rare but devastating. The most famous impact in Earth's history occurred about 66 million years ago and is thought to have caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. The Chicxulub impact, which you can see today as an impact crater on the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, is thought by many scientists to have been caused by a comet. The impact released an enormous amount of energy, triggered global fires, and led to a sharp drop in temperature, which wiped out much of life on Earth. It's worth noting that comet or asteroid impacts have also occurred more recently. The Tunguska event in 1908 is a good example of a celestial body, probably a comet, exploding in the Earth's atmosphere. It devastated over 2,000 square kilometers of forest in Siberia. The explosion was so powerful that it released an estimated 15 megatons of energy, which is equivalent to about 1,000 Hiroshima bombs. Fortunately, this incident occurred in an uninhabited area, but it goes to show how dangerous an impact in populated areas could be.